Hey guys, how is everybody doing today? I promised a little tutorial, so we're going to do a little half-ass tutorial on how to make a felted Blythe hat. And I'm going to go over the stuff you need. So we're going to work on making one like this one, without the little doodads, because those are just felted balls. I just kind of sewed on there. So we're going to go with how to do this. Bear with me. Nothing fancy here. Absolutely nothing fancy. What you're going to need is a cookie sheet. An old cookie sheet. One you don't bake on. Um, yeah, I tend to use this one that has the, it's got like texture to it because I use bubble wrap for like, packaging things up. You need some sort of sheer material, like netting material, but not cotton netting, more of like a synthetic fiber. So, curtain shears cut up work good. I don't know what this is. I think it was like a mesh bag I was using for mead making, which now has become this. You need your wool, the same wool you would use for felting or anything. You can use like merino tops or batting or whatever. But the most important thing you need is a resist. Now, you can make this out of some fancy plastic, but I just made mine out of a piece of paper. I just drew the shape of the hat I wanted and covered it with packing tape. To measure, you need a girl. So you measure around the circumference of her head, obviously, and cut that in half. And then you want to add about 20% for shrinkage. I guess, if you're going to get fancy, whatever. But if it shrinks too much, you can always, like, wet it and stretch it out. So that's the beautifulness of felt. Okay, so let's get started. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to put a piece of mesh down and then put your, I hope you guys can see, your resist down. Packing tape. Now, I'm using blues and browns because, those are my colors I like. You want to lay the felt down and you want to kind of just pull it so it's, little light, little wispy pieces. And you want to lay it down on top of the resist, kind of like cross hatching it. And you want to go over the edge because we're going to fold that to the back side. So you want to just layer this on any old way, not really, but you want to go one way and then you want to cross it the other. But you want to make sure that you have enough to wrap around the other side. And we're going to use a bunch of different colors and just kind of layer them together to get kind of, this kind of effect. A little blending maybe, hopefully. I tend to, I'm not very careful. I tend to get clumps. But you want to go as light as possible, but at the same time cover all of the resist. Actually not working today. It's been nice, but of course I thought I was going to have a day off and then I got a sick kid. So you want to go one way and then you want to get the whole thing covered. And you're supposed to have like the light wispy ends on the, folding over. I'm not really paying attention. I'm talking. And cooking dinner. And I forgot my coffee. So on the sides, you can see I'm kind of laying them, so they kind of go out this way and over the edge. That was a big clump. That's right. Where I'm going to put more color, I'm going to lay them the other way. So now I'm going this way. Just a few down here. Okay, and then we're going to grab a different color. This one. This is kind of like more of a batting. You can see how it's like fuzzier. And you can kind of stretch the batting and kind of get it to, that's a little too, I want it up a little bit more. You want to cover it so you can't see the white of the resist. I think I wanted some green. So we're just going to throw some green in here. I think I've been doing them like 2 layers. So one layer going vertical and the other layer going horizontal is what I've been basically doing. I don't want a whole lot of green though. That's like a big honking piece of green, dear. Oof. So more brown, and then I wanted blue on the top. So, get to the top, you kind of gotta, because you want it to go around that point. But you can do whatever shape, you know, hat you want. Some of the rounded ones are a little bit easier. I should have grabbed that one, but I did not. It's gonna snow again tomorrow. Very exciting. Not, but I don't think that much. Okay, so once you get this, so it looks like a big fluffy cloud. And there's a lot of fancy tutorials on YouTube you guys can watch. I'm going to pick this up so you guys can see it. So you kind of have this like fancy cloud, right? Then you take the other piece of mesh and you put it right on top. Like I said, nothing fancy. Soapy, like dish soap water in a water bottle with a hole on the top, because I'm not buying that fancy thing. Not fancy smash. You just smash the water all over it. And you want to wet it. Like just push down on it. Get the whole thing sopping wet. And having it between the mesh, then you flip it over. And take the back piece of mesh off. Oop, maybe. Okay. And then you have this like kind of mess here, right? Then you want to fold the wool around the resist. And you can tell where you didn't put enough, like right there at the tip I didn't put enough. The wetter you have it, the easier this works. You can kind of use the mesh to fold it up. Kind of, sort of. I tried to rig up my camera so it would do it from the top, but it kept falling, so. Alright, so you kind of have this, so it's wrapped around. It looks like a hot disaster. Then you're going to take some more wool and cover this side. And where it's like not really wrapped around so great, you can kind of go over that edge. If you got it fabulous, then you kind of just have to fill in the middle. And of course your hands are wet and sticky, so the wool just sticks to you because your hands are all wet. Because I'm, unprepared and don't have a towel. I'm rushing. I have to go get my hair cut finally. Look at these bangs. And maybe pick up other children. I don't know. Yeah. Drop somebody off at their job. The usual. Can't have a day to myself. Ever. Ever. Alright, so we're going to do the light brown, which is kind of like a base. So that'll be like on the inside. And then we'll put some of this dark brown on. I like the combination of like dark brown and blue. It's one of my favorite color combinations. But I put green on that other side, so I should put some green here too. Just a little bit of green. Because it's my favorite color. So we get green everywhere. No estate sales this weekend. Estate sales have been a bust. I went to the fancy smancy antique store and bought nothing. The girls bought comic books and paperback books. Yep. Nothing for me. Not a doll in the place that I would buy. There was a beautiful, and I'm kind of thinking I might go back. Trunk insert, because my trunk, it's the the rounded top trunk that I have sitting over here. The insert is shot. And there was an insert there, and it was a nice insert, and it had like the enclosed top and all the little compartments, and I was like, ooh. And it was like $45. I should have just bought it, but I had I wouldn't have been able to fit it in the car. Alright, I kind of put a lot of blue on the top, so we're going to put some brown over that, just so it blends a little bit better. Okay, so once you get the second side covered, you want to take your mesh again. Oh, look, it's Sage. Hi. All right, and now you're going to wet this side. Same water bottle. Sound effects. And then kind of press this down. So it's like, so it's saturated, but not like sopping. This whole thing with the cookie sheet is so you don't have water everywhere. Now, a lot of people do this fancy with bubble wrap and all that stuff. We're not doing all that. Not that the bubble wrap is fancy. flip it over, peel this off, and then you'll see that this side is now, you gotta wrap this side around. So we wrap this side around, and you don't want to like rub too much. You just want it to kind of, say, stick to its wool friends. Just a little bit, but don't go all ham yet. Right, Sage?
Yep.
Okay, so then you get all this kind of wrapped around so you have a big mess. Put this back on, and then that's when you start rubbing, because the mesh kind of keeps the wool from moving around too much. So you need a bar of soap. I have this crappy bar of soap. This is what I've been using. Look, there's like wool stuck all over it. The kids think it's disgusting. You kind of wipe it off on top of the mesh. As so. Would have been better if I got the actual camera to go up top, huh? And then you just want to kind of lightly just massage the soap. It's very relaxing. And you just do one side, flip it over, do the other side, until it feels like a piece of fabric. I think they say like half an hour a side. I don't know. What time is it, Sage?
3:09.
Okay, good. We got time. I just don't know. Can you ask Dad if he's gonna? Can you just ask Dad if he's gonna pick up Zone Brian? You kind of want like bubbly foam. That's kind of what you want. Lather. Hey, I need a pair of scissors. See if they're in the kitchen. The blue handled scissors.
Okay.
Alright, so this is getting like all nice and... Yeah, bring those in here and just set them down. Thank you. And then go ask your father. You'll get like little pieces of wool all over the mesh on the outside. You're probably better than me and do a good job of cleaning that. When that side feels pretty good, you want to flip it over. Do the same thing. Put some more soap on it. Now, because humans aren't wearing this, I am not very good about rinsing out all the soap after, but I do have a bowl here, so we can do that. Just keep rubbing. I don't have a way to do this and fast forward. Huh?
Out cold.
He's out cold, so that means I have to go pick him up. Drop Zoe at work, and then... Alright, so you get this. Now, you want to take the thing off and check. You can tell if it looks like fabric. When you rub it, things aren't moving around too much. Alright? Okay. So then what I typically do is I take it off of the netting once it gets to that point and just start rubbing it like this. And probably use more soap than water. It's so your hands don't, like, you know, so you can get... Ooh. It kind of helps to get everything matted down. So professional, Sage.
For real.
For real. Hey, do me a favor, since my hands are all wet. Take this wool off my lap and put it over there so I don't get it all. Thank you. Okay.
I'm a helpful child.
You are.
I'm the number one kid.
He's really out cold.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. I gotta run around.
Perfect.
Love him to death, but you know. Huh?
Did you tell Zoe you're not getting her?
I did tell Zoe I'm not getting her, but I guess I'm gonna have to.
Why? You already know you're not gonna. I say.
So you want to rub it until it feels like everything is all...
Is there a piece of cardboard in it?
There's a piece of paper with packing tape in it. See why the cookie sheet works? You hate that sound?
I hate that sound.
Okay.
Nope.
So once you get it till it's pretty much all one thing, it doesn't feel like it's falling apart. Do that. Get some of the water out.
So professional.
So professional. Okay. So now you have all the water out. Or most of the soap and water out. Just kind of. Alright. Then what you're going to do is take a pair of scissors. And you want to cut your resist out. Now, I've been pretty lucky in not cutting that resist too much. But, you know, whatever. If you cut it, just throw some more packing tape on it. Okay. So cut that off. Cut the end off. And take your piece of plastic out. Throw that on the radiator. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to rub the inside of the hat. So you got the nice soapy water right here. And you want to rub the inside of the hat too. Just to make sure that that's all good to go. I got some bad spots here because I'm, rushing.
This is how she does it, people. A master at work.
No, master of nothing.
Yeah.
Master of mess is what I am. I'm using the water in the soapy water on the cookie sheet.
Well,
Okay. This is going to take a lot more. But the soapier and kind of wetter it is, the easier it kind of goes. I don't know, they talk a lot about not using too much soap, not using too much water. I
do not care.
I do it, what feels right, I guess. I did make a whole bunch of stuff though. I should make a video on all the stuff I made. And it just, if you rub it this way, it'll shrink it a little. Now, once you think the inside, you can turn it inside out. There's the inside. Pretty good, pretty good. We can work with that. Okay, not too fuzzy. It'll be like not fuzzy. It'll be like fabric. Okay. One thing, I don't know what this is called, falling, when you just kind of like crumple it up and do this. If you put it in warm water, it'll shrink faster. I don't know what's in this bowl. It's been sitting there now. Cold water. Okay, so kind of, you got this big mangled thing, right? Alright. Kind of shrink it down. The falling, this kind of shrinks it a little. We're going to rinse it in the water. Get some of the soap out. Because when it's... Now... You don't like the sound? Okay, so you want to kind of stretch it and play with it a little bit. Now, if you're, a good dolly mommy, you would cover your doll in some sort of plastic. I obviously am not. And Hudson really doesn't care. While it's damp, you want to kind of put it on your doll's head. Covered in plastic for the... She doesn't care. You can kind of shape it while it's wet. If you had something else, like I was using, I don't know, maybe like a softball or something. Oops, this is like a little... I think I got a little small. Now, if it was sunny and nice out, I would put it outside to dry.
It's cold and damp.
It's cold and awful. You can kind of pull it and stretch it. You can also trim that off after it's dried, trim the edge and make it a little cleaner. And then if you rub that edge with some soap, it'll like... That's weird. I don't know. Let's put that in the back. Alright, and that is it. Then I just pop her on the radiator, let it dry, and boom. Then you can,
sew little things onto it.
Sew things onto it, and easy peasy, lemon squeezy. What'd you say, Sage?
Yeah.
How's that?
Beautiful.
20 minutes. We got the makings of a hat. Mwah. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.
Love you guys.
I gotta clean up this mess and go back to real life.